Cheers, what it is and what it ain't. Y'all already know what it is with me, man. It's another day, another dollar, more money, more progress. Listen, Cash Academy, it's been a minute. This video is dedicated to y'all. I might post this on YouTube because they need to see what's going on in the Cash Academy, man. They might need to see a glimpse of how we really getting down over here because they really don't know. It's a secret society. All we ask is trust, you dig? But they don't really know what's going on. So I might post this on YouTube as well. This is going to be a short but sweet and impactful, informative episode because I know there's a lot going on in the world today and some of y'all are being overwhelmed by what's going on. Your mind feel real cluttered, but I'm going to give you a remedy on how to clear your mind. You dig? Yeah, we got a lot of junk in our mind, but we got to clear that out. Just like your car, you need to clear your car out too. You need to clear that closet out that you knew you was gonna clean about 2 months ago, but you never got to it. Yeah, I know. You was gonna clear that car out too. You was gonna get your shit car washed and you was gonna tell them to clean inside, but you never did. Why? Because you got your mind cluttered. You got so much going on, you forget to do it. You put it to the side. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on in your life. There's so much going on, but I'm gonna help you and try to help you execute on the things that you have set aside that you wanna do. But I gotta give you the remedy on how to clear the mind because, you know, I've been using this particular strategy or this remedy for years now, and it helped me tremendously in my life. And it's only right that I share it with y'all. I want to share it with y'all, man, because y'all my family. Y'all been supporting me. Y'all been supporting the platform. So I got to give y'all some news y'all can use that can help y'all in y'all daily life. And this is a very important tip that I'm going to give y'all. And I definitely highly recommend that y'all use this every day, you dig? But let's get into it, man. I know you have projects that you started, but you never finished. You know, you might have had a book that you wanted to write. You never got around to it. There's a course you purchased, but you never finished the course. You know, there's things that you started and ideas that you had that was probably $1 million ideas, but you never did it. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you scrolling online, you see somebody execute the idea that you had in your mind, you dig? And you kicking yourself because you never started the idea and you knew it was a great idea. So there's a lot of reasons for that. There's a lot of reasons for why you start projects and you never finish it. You start reading books and you never finish it. You know, so there's so many reasons, but I'm going to try to give you tips to help you unravel, you know what I mean? Those blockage that's stopping you, because that's what it is. It's a block. There's a block in your frequency that's stopping you from actually moving forward on the ideas that you have and actually executing. Through the days, we go through so much, you know, so much is being stored in our memory bank. So much is being programmed or sent towards us, and it's being stored in our subconscious mind. You know, from the food that you eat, from the TV shows that you watch, from the Instagram clips that you see. It's so much being bombarded at us at such a high rate. And our mind is like a storage unit. It's just storing information from the things we touch, taste, hear, see, and smell. All of that getting stored inside of our subconscious mind. Nothing is never erased. Don't think for 1 second that billboard that you saw 2 years ago is erased out of your memory bank. It is still there, deep down in the nucleus of your mind. You dig? You gotta always remember, your mind got a mind of its own. You dig? So you always got to be aware of what you put inside of your mind. That's why your mind is so cluttered. There's so much that you see on a daily basis. There's so many things that you store inside your mind that you're not even conscious of. And I'm going to try to help you to be more aware of this so you can be a little bit more cautious on what you read, what you consume, what you put inside your mind. Because if you don't control your mind and control what you consume, you will end up being controlled and being programmed. And then your mind starts to take over and have a mind of its own, and you're no longer in control. You're ruled by society and what happens on a daily basis, and they can use you as a puppet. And they can just pull the string and have you move in certain directions that you might not even want to go in. You know what I mean? This is one of the reasons why you see people act emotionally and do things that's out of the norm, and you're wondering why they doing it. And the people that know them say they never acted like that before. That's because they're being controlled unconsciously. So you always want to be in control. So it's important for you to be in control. So that's what this episode is all about, man. I want you to understand that you have to be in control of your mind. That's very important. I heard somebody say one time, the mind is like a garden. It don't matter if you plant poison ivy or you plant roses. It doesn't matter what you plant in it. Whatever you plant is gonna grow. So you wanna plant roses. So when when that rose blossom, you wanna have, you know what I mean? Positive things come into your life, because why? Who don't love roses? Who don't like nice bouquets? Everybody do, right? We don't want no poison ivy. We don't want no weeds. So you have to be mindful of what you put in your mind. So let's get to the remedy on how you clear the mind. See, this is something that I've been doing for years. This is a small little tip I really don't share, but y'all my family. I rock with y'all. You dig? It's the Cash Academy. I gotta give y'all this game, man. You feel me? And a lot of people don't get this type of game because I like to keep it, you know, to people who's worthy of it, people who really gonna use it, people who gonna really apply it. I don't like to be talking on deaf ears, you dig? If I say something, I ain't saying it because I got lips. I'm saying it because I'm applying it in my life and I'm using it, and it's been very helpful and beneficial to me. So that's why I'm sharing it with y'all, and that's why I usually like to keep it to myself, because I don't like to share certain things that I feel people are not gonna use on a daily basis, you dig? So it's important that you actually use this every night before you go to bed, all right? Now, one thing that I do every day is I end the cycles that I start. Now, I know you might be thinking in your mind, what do I mean by ending a cycle? Now, throughout your day, you know, you woke up, you ate breakfast, you might have not finished that breakfast, right? And you carry on throughout your day, you went run your errands, you had lunch, and you might have not ate all your lunch. And during that time, you might have stopped and read a book that you probably didn't finish. You know what I mean? You just started. And then after reading that book, you went and started watching TV, watched a movie, but you didn't finish watching the movie. Or you were scrolling up and down Instagram, saw some things that was funny, didn't stop to watch all of the things that you saw, and you kept on scrolling and moving on. You might have went on YouTube, started watching Judge Judy, started watching a show, didn't finish it, and then you moved on to something else. Then you had dinner, might have had a steak, you didn't finish eating the steak, you put some away for later, and you did something else throughout the day, you dig? You started a lot of cycles throughout the day. You didn't even realize it. You started so many cycles throughout the day, but you never finished none of them. And that's the problem right there. We all start cycles that we never finish. We have to end those cycles because those cycles are still going. Still running. It's almost like cutting on a TV, right? You're cutting on the TV and cutting on the music at the same time. Now they both playing simultaneously, and you can't listen to both at the same time, but they both running, they both playing at the same time. That's what's going on in your mind. All of those cycles that you started are both playing at the same time, from you eating breakfast to eating lunch to watching a TikTok or watching an Instagram video and you didn't finish, or watching a YouTube video and you didn't finish that cycle. Those cycles are still being played in your memory bank, that's being played in your mind on a constant basis. You have to end those cycles. Now, this is something I do every day before I go to bed. Before I lay my eyes down shut, before I go to bed and before I go to sleep, I end every cycle I started throughout that day. If I ate a sandwich that I didn't finish, I end the cycle of that particular process of me eating that sandwich. And how do I do that? I basically say, before I tell you how I do it, it's basically hold on one second. Let me get a little parch. Before I tell you how I do it, let me clarify this. There's so many cycles I said get started throughout the day. I end all of my cycles before I go to bed. That's the first thing I do. I end every cycle before I go to bed because it's important that I let my mind know that I'm finished with the things that I started. So like I said again, if I was watching an Instagram video, I end the cycle of that. If I was watching a movie, I end that cycle. If I was eating a sandwich that I didn't finish, I end that cycle. If I was having a conversation that I didn't finish, I end the cycle of that. Every cycle I start, I finish. You dig? It's very important. Now, the reason I do that is because, like I said again, if you don't end those cycles are being played in the background. Nothing is never gone, nothing is never lost, nothing is never stopped unless you stop it. Nothing is never deleted unless you delete it. You dig? And even when you delete it out of your mind, it's still in your mind. You feel me? So it's important to help clear the mind. So how do I do that? Like I said again, before I go to sleep, I always repeat certain cycles. If I started watching a movie, I would basically say to myself, okay, I made an agreement to watch this movie, but now I'm changing that agreement and I'm no longer watching this movie. I'm going to watch something else. You dig? Or maybe I'm going to do something else, but I'm ending the cycle of me watching this movie. I've watched a lot of Instagram videos that I didn't finish watching. I would end the cycle of doing that. So every video that I watched throughout the day, every Instagram clip that I've seen that I didn't finish watching, I would say in my mind that I'm ending that cycle and starting a new cycle. If I ate something that I didn't finish eating, I end the cycle of that as well. And I repeat that in my mind. I repeat it out loud as well. And I say I'm ending that cycle and I'll start a new cycle at a later date. So I'm keeping my agreements, which is very important. You have to keep the agreements with yourself because no agreement is more important than the agreement that you make with yourself. So how do you do that? You end the cycles of the things you started. If I was reading a book and I didn't finish, I end that particular cycle because I made an agreement to read 10 pages, but I didn't read 10 pages. I only read 5. You dig? So what I do after I'm finished reading that 5, I said I made an agreement to read 9 pages, but I only read 5. So I'm ending that cycle and I'm continuing on to do something else. So I say this to myself. Remember this, the mind have a mind of its own. So you have to always be programming your mind because if you don't, somebody will program it for you. You dig? This is why I'm saying this because we let the world program our mind for us and we don't understand some of our decisions are not our own. So it's important for you to be in control and not let nobody else make decisions for you. So you have to end each and every cycle you started. You was watching a Judge Judy show that you didn't finish. Make an agreement to end that cycle. Tell yourself that you want to end that cycle and start watching something else or start doing something else. If you had a conversation that you didn't finish, tell yourself before you go to bed, I'm ending that cycle of the conversations that I had with so-and-so, and I'll start a new cycle at a later date. It's really that simple. You're programming the mind, unraveling the things that you started, and you're clearing your slate. And then you're continuing on with a new day. And you're starting off with a clean slate. And your mind is now cleared. There's so many different ways to clear your mind. There's a lot of ways to clear the mind, but this is an easy way that you can do in the privacy of your own home. You don't have to spend no money. You don't have to go nowhere to do it. You don't have to waste no time talking to nobody to ask them about how you can unclutter the mind. This is how you do it. It's very simple. I've been using this for years. I've learned this through trial and error. Nobody taught me this game. I've learned it through trial and error. And then as I unravel and go through my life, because you know, hindsight is 2020, I realized all the things that I was doing that helped me be able to achieve the things that I wanted to achieve because I'm a master at executing. See, a lot of us want to do certain things, but we don't know how to execute. That's the thing about life. You can have a great plan, but if you don't have the execution behind that plan, then your plan is just a fallacy. It's just an idea. Nobody cares about your plan or your idea if you don't have the skill to execute. So we have to be able to execute the things that we start. And we start a lot of cycles that we don't finish. How you stop and end those cycles? Like I told you just a few minutes ago, all you got to do is repeat to yourself in your mind, or you can repeat out loud and say, I'm ending this particular cycle. I was watching an Instagram video. It was entertaining, but it's no longer entertaining me. I'm going to do something else, and I'm going to end the cycle of me looking at Instagram videos. You dig? That's how you clear the mind, unclutter the mind. And anytime you in a space that's cluttered, it's hard for you to make good decisions. It's hard for you to make clear, conscious decisions. So you want to unclutter your space. You want to unclutter your mind. Don't you feel good when you clean your house and you clear the space and everything is organized and put in the right position where everything's supposed to be? You can think clearly. You can make real conscious decisions. You dig? It's the same thing. Clearing the mind is like cleaning up your house and helping you to feel better, cleaning the space, help you everything to move at a certain frequency. It seems like you just feel amazing when your space is clean and everything is organized. It's just a feeling you can't even describe. It's just what it is. I know y'all can relate to what I'm saying. So it's the same thing. If you have a cluttered closet, you have a cluttered car, that may be hindering your decision making. That may be hindering the way you feel. That may be blocking the way you moving throughout your day. And to be frank with you, it may be blocking your blessings, because if your car's dirty or your house is dirty, that means your energy is not in the right frequency. That means you're not feeling good. So what happens? That brings more things into your life that fucks up your frequency. It fucks up your energy to make you not feel good. So it's important to always have your certain space and certain things in your closet or certain things in your home cleared away and organized, so you can think better and your mind can be moving at a certain frequency where you want it to be, so it can help you to make real life decisions and help you to, quite frankly, execute on some of the things that you really trying to, get accomplished. So clear the mind, clear your space, clear your energy. And this is a simple way to do it. Like I said again, end the cycles that you started. Any cycle that you start that you didn't finish, end those cycles. It's almost like going through a breakup with a female or a male, right? And we always want that closure. We always want that thing to figure out why it didn't work. You really want that closure so you could end that cycle, so you could move on. You can move on from that. You want to know why it didn't work. You want to know why he left. You want to know why she left. You want to know what was the reason that relationship didn't work out, because you want to end that cycle. You want to end that chapter in your life. So by ending that chapter in your life and getting an understanding on why that didn't work, it clears the mind, it clears your spirit, it clears you, clears your energy. You can move on and deal with another person or let another person in, because you already got that out your system. You already ended that chapter in your life. You already ended that cycle. So it's very important. Like I said again, I normally don't give this tip out, but I really rock with y'all. Y'all my Cash Academy family. I'm always gonna give y'all high quality information. I'm gonna give y'all what I use. I'm not gonna talk just because I got lips. It's not gonna be something I read in a book and I'm just gonna recite it because it sounds cool. Nah, I do this on a daily basis. You can't find this in a book. You can't find this from nowhere else. Only from me. Because why? This is something that I do. Nobody told me to do this. Nobody gave me the game on how to do this. I just started to put one and two together and understand, if I clear the space out of my room or my house, I feel better. So why not clear the space out of my mind? Why not stop and end the cycles that I started that I didn't finish? It makes sense, right? There's so many things that we touch, taste, hear, feel, and smell that we started cycles throughout the day, and we store in our mind and we gravitate towards too, and we become a part of that and that become a part of us, but we don't stop or end these things that we start. And this is going to help you to execute on a lot of the things that you really want to accomplish. That's why I'm really telling you this, because now when you buy that course, you're going to be able to finish it, because you understand your mind is now in a place where it's clear, it's not cluttered. And every day you wake up, you start out with a clear mind. You know you got things on your list that you got to accomplish. Yeah, of course, you're going to have certain goals, but you're not carrying the baggage of all the things and the cycle that you started the night before. That's the main thing, you dig? There's always going to be things on your list that you want to do, but you want to clear the mind of all the cycles that you started the day before. And there's so many cycles that you started years ago. There's so many cycles that you started a decade ago. This is the reason why it's hard or difficult for you to actually execute on your goals and your ideas and your dreams and the things you want to accomplish. Nobody's never told you this before. I know. This is grade A level game I'm giving you, you dig? You ain't gonna find it nowhere else. Nobody's told you this. You started cycles years ago, from the time you was a toddler. And all you did was piled up so many things that you started that you never finished. And all of those things are still running. Don't think it stopped, because you never stopped it. You never stopped it. So that's why it's still running. It's like turning the TV on and leaving the house and coming back and thinking the TV is supposed to be off. You never turned it off. So why wouldn't it still be on? Do you know how many things you turned on in your mind that you never turned off? You got to turn off the things that you turned on years ago. There's so many cycles that you started years ago that you never stopped. Sit down, take 5 minutes out of your day, and end all the cycles that you started throughout your life. It's only going to take 5 minutes right before you go to bed. Make an agreement to end the cycles that you started. All right? It's yours truly. I appreciate y'all for taking the time out to listen. Listen, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me tapping in. Like, subscribe, and also tell a friend to tell a friend. Join the Cash Academy now. This is the type of information you're missing out on, man. You dig? Don't deprive yourself of this good game, man. Cheers.